Rockstar is coming out today. Yes, thank you, kids. Thank you, Dale, music ministry, choir. That's awesome, awesome, awesome. But everybody sat down too quickly. I'm going to ask you all to get up again. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. As I said earlier, I'm Reverend Pam, and I like to play a lot, so you're going to play with me. I invite you to play with me. All right, so here we go. Repeat after me. Deep down below, the roots hold tight. Reaching for sun, the shoots take flight. Together they grow, a wondrous sight. Roots strong and steady, shoots reaching for the light. Okay, now we're going to play a little game. Everybody on this side of the room, which is to my left, you're going to be the roots. And everybody on this side of the room is going to be the shoots, okay? And now you can say it with me. You don't have to repeat it after me because the words are on the screen and you did it once before. Okay, here we go. Roots. Deep down below, the roots hold tight. Reaching for the sun, the shoots take flight. Together they grow, a wondrous sight. Roots strong and steady, shoots reaching for light. Yay! 100% participation in this room. Thank you so much. Now you can sit down. So today we are celebrating the end of another academic year. And in a few minutes, we'll have a special ritual to recognize the spiritual growth of the children in our community. But they're not the only ones who have grown in this time, right? Each of us has too. Through the growth work that you've engaged in, the relationships that have shifted, if you've answered the call to serve our children, you've experienced the joy of play like we had at the Peace Picnic, as well as some unexpected challenges, such as the directive from an 11-year-old, prove to me that God exists. Yeah, that really happened. But through it all, we are rooted deep and reaching high. Together we rise. So now I'd like to welcome Raul Hernandez, our Youth and Family Ministry Coordinator, to join me on the platform. And Raul, do you have a story to share?
Yes. Give me a minute. The kids bring out a lot of me, right?
All that singing, that rock star energy.
Right. So I'm reminded of a personal story when I first started with Unity on the Bay, when we were in 411, about what it really means to nurture our kids, to really have a community that actually reaches out to them and gives them a safe place. So the story is about my first year, and every Sunday this girl, 10-year-old girl, would come every single Sunday. A beautiful little girl, wonderful, smiling all the time, but very to herself. She didn't want to share with anybody. She just sat there very quietly, didn't open her mouth, didn't say anything, but she was like clockwork every Sunday, the first one in through the door. And so we had our first lock-in. Anybody know what a lock-in is? Lock-in is when we stay over the night at the church, right?
Sleeping bags on the floor, doors are locked, adults are prisoners to the teenagers.
Yeah. Or standing guard at the door.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was a beautiful experience. We had different things. We had icebreakers. We had a movie that had clips in it that we would actually break down and talk about. We had different things on the unity principles. And I noticed something about this girl. She kept on answering, and she took over the groups. When we broke into groups, she actually took over. And I was like, wow, what a change. What an incredible experience to watch this. And the whole time she was talking about how beautiful God is and how wonderful God is. And in the morning when I was finishing up breakfast, she comes up and she says, "Can I tell you something?" I said, "Sure, sweetheart." She said, "I know God loves me. And I feel it every day. And there's nothing that I can't do." And I was like, wow, what an experience, right? She said that proud. She said this, "I am the light of God, and I will always shine." And today, she's actually in college, right? And she's actually a beautiful young lady, and she's very connected with her family. She's actually the light of that family. She's actually the light of her friends. And that, to me, shows you that as a community, we can nurture our children to go forward and bring the light of God into the world.
And that story may ring true for some of you. It's not just about our children. It's about each and every one of us that has that seed within us. And when we find the right, rich soil of community, we begin to sprout and grow and come into ourselves. And this year was my first year of growth at Unity on the Bay. And Raul and I planted and nourished the seed of our developing youth and family ministry that has really taken root, sprouted, and extended leaves. In this last year, not only have we grown the number of children and families that we serve, but we've expanded the program to serve separate age groups, to train and give voice to adults in the community that are called to serve as classroom facilitators, and to have more connection through our WhatsApp group and family outings, and for our teens, like Darvin and Nolani, to step into leadership at intergenerational services like this one, and they represent Unity on the Bay at regional events. So our program is rooted in the support of this community so that our children can grow in the sunshine of our love. Rooted deep and reaching high, together we rise.
Now, everyone, we're going to do something very special now. We're going on an adventure. And guess what? It all starts with something very tiny, a seed. How many of you ever planted a seed? Okay? It's pretty cool, right? Especially when you're in kindergarten. Remember the little cup with the cotton and water? And the seed would just what? Sprout, right? It has the potential, that little thing has the potential for a whole flower or a juicy tomato or even a giant sunflower. But a seed, okay, all by itself can't do much. It needs a little help to grow big and strong.
And it's true for each and every one of you, not just the children. We all have infinite potential. It's Unity's second principle, that we all have that divine spark or seed within us.
And so something to show you how important it is to really pay attention to how our children our youth want to be heard and seen. I had a 10-year-old boy that told me, I can't believe in something I can't see. I don't believe in God up in the sky. I can't see God, so what do I look for in order to find God?
And how did you respond to that question, Raul?
Well, I had a little treasure box, right, that I had something in it, and I passed it around, right? And I told them that as they open the box and look inside of it, they will find God, right? But could not tell anyone else until the end of the meditation. So we did the meditation, we passed the box, and some of the kids will open up and go, oh, and others will go, oh, and others will go, oh, right? And so when it got to the boy that actually asked me that, and he opened it and looked inside, he went, oh. I had a mirror inside of the box. And I told him, this is how you find God, inside of you. And then he said, I am God. Just like this special Unity garden, in this garden, all of you are little seeds, full of potential. Maybe you dream of being a doctor who heals people, or an artist who creates beautiful things, or a musician who fills the world with music and song. Adults, maybe you imagine a loving relationship, or a fuller bank account, or more fulfilling work. Just like a seed, you have everything you need inside of you to grow into something powerful and amazing.
But just like a seed needs sunshine, water, and care, you need a little help too. Our Unity community is like the sunshine and water that help you grow spiritually. It gives you love, support, and guidance to help you reach your full potential. Because rooted deep in community and reaching high, together we rise.
That reminds me of a little story of a little girl who hadn't been attending regularly, right? And you can notice her when she was in the class. You could notice her. You notice she was lively and happy, right? And so it was a couple months that I hadn't seen her. I wouldn't say about 6 months. And she walked in, and I, obviously, anybody who knows me, I said, "Oh my God, welcome back. I love you. I miss you." And she took her hand like this, and she goes, "Talk to this one." And she was pointing at her mom. And she said, "I've been waking her up every Sunday to come to church, but she said, too tired." And that's when I turned to the mom and says, "Let's talk."
So do you know the story that Jesus told about the seeds called the parable of the sower? Do you know what a sower is? Do you kids know what a sower is? It's somebody who plants seeds, okay? Okay, so this sower went out to sow his seeds. And as he sowed, some seeds fell on a path. What do you think happened to those seeds? No, birds came and ate them because they were just laying out there in the open with no help, okay? Now there's some other seeds that fell on some rocky ground, and there wasn't much soil. Now those seeds did spring up quickly, but they couldn't really take root because there wasn't much soil. So when the sun came up, it scorched them. And so they withered away. Now, there were some other seeds that fell among some thorn bushes. And the thorns grew up and choked them. But finally, some seeds fell on good soil. What do you think happened to those? Yes, those seeds grew, and they turned into bountiful food. Yes. So what Jesus was saying is that those seeds that fell on the path and got eaten by the birds, those are fads that pass quickly. And the seeds that sprouted up quickly but in shallow soil, those are kind of like our New Year's resolutions where we get excited about something really quickly, but it doesn't last, okay? The seeds that grew among the thorns were not properly nourished, and so they did not thrive. But those that fell on the good soil flourished, and we, the Unity on the Bay community, are the good soil that supports the parents and the children in growing those seeds to their full potential. Is when we are rooted deep and reaching high, together we rise.
Now, the daily word from June 7th, just a few days ago, secure. This is what it read. My spiritual roots are strong in God. I am secure. Young trees grow tall and stretch skyward, their branches spreading wide and their green leaves glistening in the sun. Even as trees grow up, they are also growing down, roots extending into the earth, drawing sustenance from the soil in which they are planted. Stormy winds and rain may cause the trees to shake and bend, but they do not break because the strong roots anchoring them in place. These roots are anchored in the good soil of our supportive community, Unity on the Bay. Rooted deep and reaching high, together we rise.
Come on, y'all know that by now. Let's say it with us. Rooted deep, reaching high, together we rise. And you know that Myrtle Fillmore, the co-founder of the Unity movement, instructed, our mission is not to entertain the children, but to call them out. To be always entertained is to be dwarfed and dependent, but to be called out is to follow the harmonious law of the soul's unfoldment. I love those words. The harmonious law of the soul's unfoldment. She continued, Who meddles with a rosebud? What fingers are deft enough to pry open that marvel of folded beauty? We're wise enough to leave it alone, to follow the glad law of its own unfolding. But our children, have we dealt as wisely with these buds of marvelous possibilities? Have we always remembered that they too must quicken and unfold through the innate law of their own genius? You hear that, guys? You've got your own genius inside you. Did you know that? Yeah. So she was reminding us that each of us, every one of us, is born with everything we need. All of the wisdom of the universe within us. It is yours to discover, and it's true for children of all ages.
Let's go back to our garden. Now, as the seeds start to sprout, they need a little more to thrive. Maybe they need some space to spread the roots, or maybe they need a little help reaching towards the sun. That's the nurturing of a community that allows for the unfolding that Mother Myrtle talked about. Then something special happens. They start to grow leaves and fruits and flowers. For again, rooted deep and reaching high, together we rise.
These leaves are like new possibilities. They're like roles or talents that are unfolding. So kids, as you're growing older, you might start helping more at home. Maybe that means taking care of your younger siblings or doing some chores. Now, adults, I am not going to remind you about your adult responsibilities, okay? But every experience helps you grow stronger and reach for the sun. They may seem small at first, but they're a big part of becoming the amazing person you're meant to be. And here's the coolest part. When all the little seeds in our Unity garden grow leaves and fruits and flowers, together they create something even more beautiful. A whole garden filled with vibrant colors and delicious fruits. And that garden is rooted deep, reaching high, together we rise.
Now here's some reminders as you step up. Be like the sun. Shine your light brightly and share your unique talents with the whole world. Remember, everyone has something special to offer. Be like the rain. Be kind and compassionate, watering others with your love and support. Help those around you to grow tall and strong. Be like the wind. Be brave and adventurous. Explore new ideas and never stop learning. Remember, the world is full of exciting things to discover. Be like the roots. Stay grounded in your values and beliefs. Remember what matters most to you, right? And hold on to it, even when things get tough.
So just like a seed needs sunlight, water, and care to grow, you'll need to keep nurturing your spirit. So remember to talk to your inner garden. Spend time reflecting on your thoughts and feelings. Ask yourself what makes you happy, what challenges you face, and how you can grow. Water your dreams. Believe in yourself. Never give up on what you want to achieve. Just like a seed needs water, your dreams need your belief to flourish. That's our power of faith. And let the sun shine in. Surround yourself with positive people and experiences that fill you with joy and inspiration. And most importantly, remember that you're never alone. You have a whole community cheering you on, from your family and friends to your Unity community. We believe in you, and we know you'll do amazing things. So as summer break begins, think about a small responsibility that you could take on at home this week. Maybe set the table, clean your room, or read a book to a younger sibling. Remember, even the smallest leaves help the whole garden grow. And adults, discover an activity that you can adopt or recommit to that deepens your spiritual roots. Maybe it's to get back to longer meditation times, or join a prayer call, or spend more time connecting with members of this spiritual community. So all of you are amazing seeds. So to all of you, remember, you have incredible potential within you. With the love and support of your Unity family, and by taking on new responsibilities like little leaves, you can grow into something truly beautiful. Let's all work together to make our Unity Garden a place of love, growth, and endless possibilities. Because, all together now, deep down below, the rose hold tight. Reaching for the sun, the shoots take flight. Together they grow, a wondrous sight. Roots strong and steady, shoots reaching for the light. Namaste.